Hey guys, welcome back to BCMN Bracketology. We would just like to say thank you. Our last video got a bunch of views and a bunch of comments and likes. If you guys ever have any questions about any bracketology questions, or you want hypothetical best case scenarios for teams, don't be afraid to comment and ask us. Also, if you're enjoying our content, please consider subscribing. So today we're going to be going over Jerry Palm's recent CBS Sports bracket, and we're going to be making predictions on what we think would be a possible bracket and possible outcome for his creation. So the first game we've got Gonzaga versus Prairie View or this other team. Gonzaga is going to win that game. It's not going to be close. Gonzaga has just been ridiculous.
All right, so now we got Louisville and Maryland. Maryland has been strong the past couple games. I think they have 4 straight right now. Louisville has been kind of quiet. They've been playing pretty good, but not as good as Maryland has. Maryland has that star player in Wiggins, and I do think they will pull it out.
So next we've got Texas Tech versus UNC or St. Louis. I don't really like UNC this year. I do think St. Louis is going to win in that playing game, but I don't think they have enough talent just to match Texas Tech. So I'm going to put Texas Tech there just because of their defense.
Next matchup, Tennessee and Belmont. Tennessee has been playing really bad recently. Just had a bad loss, like a really bad loss to Kentucky. Belmont's one of those teams that could be an upset team. We're going to take the 13-4 upset in Belmont.
Okay, so the next matchup we have is Oklahoma State and St. Bonaventure. So Oklahoma State, you've got a star in Cade Cunningham, and he's unbelievable. I don't think St. Bonaventure has that guy to stop him or that defense or special talent like three-point shooting to actually get in his face and be able to put him down for the game. So I think Oklahoma State's going to easily win that one.
Next, you got Iowa, South Dakota State. There's not much to say. You got the best player in college right now, Luka Garza, who is shaped around three-point shooting left and right. It's really going to be hard to beat that team. So Iowa's going to win that matchup.
Yeah. So next we've got Western Kentucky, Wisconsin, and this one's going to be a great game. I do think it's going to be Western Kentucky is just going to slowly pull ahead out of this one. I don't think Wisconsin is the team they usually are, and I think this season especially, they're a little overseeded, and I think Western Kentucky, they haven't had that opportunity to prove themselves. They haven't had those real quad one games yet, but I think from what they've played so far, they've played incredible, and I think they can pull this upset.
Next, we got Oklahoma, Eastern Washington. Eastern Washington is not going to beat Oklahoma in this game. I don't see it happening.
Yeah, so next we got Ohio State, James Madison. That's Ohio State.
LSU, UCLA. This could be a good game. UCLA has been playing pretty good, though, and I do think they would, honestly, I think they would win by like 10 or 12 points to LSU.
Yeah. So this Clemson UCSB game is going to be a close one. I think this is a potential 12-5 upset in this tournament. I do like how Clemson's been playing recently. They lost one recently, but they did have they showed a great game, but they lost to a ranked team. I'm going to put Clemson here.
Kansas, Toledo. Toledo has been playing pretty good. Kansas has won 4 in a row now. I think it could go either way. This could be a potential upset, but I don't think Toledo has enough power to beat Kansas at all.
Yeah, so next we've got Loyola Chicago versus Arkansas. Loyola Chicago has been great this year. They really haven't – they're kind of similar to Western Kentucky. They haven't really played that great team that they could get to be like a great to have a good quad one game, but they are ranked right now, so I think they're going to be able to easily win against Arkansas and maybe go even further.
All right, Houston, Aberlin Christian. I don't think it's going to be even close. Houston's going to blow them out by 40.
Yeah. So the next game we got Rutgers, Oregon. Rutgers just came off of a terrible, terrible game against Maryland. I don't, as of right now, they're not in shape to play in the NCAA tournament against Oregon. So I'm going to put them.
Okay, now we got Alabama, Grand Canyon. In my opinion, I think if there was a 15-2 upset, this would be it. But I don't think there's going to be one this year. I think Bama will win by like 20 or something. And they're just too much.
Yeah, so the next game we got, it's just Baylor. That's not a tough game.
Now we got Boise State, Xavier. Boise State lost one 2 weeks ago, but besides that, they've looked really good. Xavier has been pretty good this season as well, but I don't think they have enough to beat Boise State.
Sorry. Okay, so next we've got Virginia against either Indiana or Colorado. These three teams all have been performing terribly recently. Indiana just lost to Michigan State. Virginia just lost to Duke and another one. I think it was Florida State. And Colorado has just lost too. I think Virginia is going to be either of these teams, but I don't think this is going to be a pretty game to watch at all. And if any other 12 seed, I could easily see beating Virginia, but I don't like either of these.
Now we got Missouri, Northern Texas. Missouri has not been playing good, like not at all. So I could see a potential upset here with Northern Texas, but I don't think it's going to happen. Missouri has that firepower in them to win games, and they're just going to pull ahead.
Yeah. So next we got Purdue versus Drake. Purdue has been one of those teams in the Big Ten this year that when you look at their stats and everything, they're actually much better than they are when you actually watch them. Purdue doesn't really have that talent at all this year. In previous years, I've seen them having a bigger team and just more tournament experience, and this year I don't think they have it. And Drake, I think, is going to be able to upset this one.
Now we got FSU, Liberty. FSU has looked so good recently. I don't see them losing at all, not even a little bit.
Yeah, now we got Creighton, San Diego State. I love Creighton's defense, but I love San Diego State's offense at the same time. I think Creighton is such a steal as a 7 seed in this tournament, and I think they're going to be able to put up a good fight against Illinois next round. So I'm going to put Creighton here.
Illinois is going to beat Siena.
Yeah, it's kind of straightforward. And same with Michigan against UMBC. But if you want to pick a 16 seed, that's the team to do it. If they were playing against Virginia, I would take them again.
UMBC has that guy, that 5'3" guy. I'm not even kidding. Watch the highlights. There is a 5'3" guy in that team.
Yeah.
All right, now we got BYU, UConn. I could see this going either way. Both teams have played really well this year. UConn had some slip up. I don't know if they had COVID, but they did decline at some point. But now they're trying to pick it back up, and I do think UConn will win that matchup.
Okay, so then we got Texas Winthrop. Winthrop's a good team. I don't think they're big enough to get a body on Texas. Texas is a huge team, and they're strong and get rebounds, and I don't think Winthrop has the kind of guys to actually box them out and stop them.
Virginia Tech, Furman. Honestly, in my opinion, Virginia Tech is too high ranked. They should not be ranked 4. Furman was ranked a couple years ago, but I had not heard that much about them. I don't think they're going to win this game. So we're going Virginia Tech.
Yeah. So the next game, you got USC, Wichita State. Wichita State is one of those teams this year in March Madness that I could see them just blowing up from 3, or they miss every single 3. They are a true three-point shooting team. They have guys like Tyson Etienne and Albert E. Gilbert and Dexter Dennis, who all can shoot the 3 incredibly well. And we saw them just beat Houston, which was an impressive game where they, in the second half, they shot 45% from 3. And if they can keep that up, they're going to be a dangerous 11 seed in March Madness.
All right, West Virginia, Colgate. This is straightforward. West Virginia has been playing really well. They just had a huge comeback against Texas. They're going to beat Colgate.
Yeah, Florida, Colorado State. I think this isn't going to be one of those 7-10 seeds like other ones where it's going to be an interesting one where the 10 seed might win. And I think Florida's going to win this one by a lot.
Villanova, Bryant. Villanova's not going to lose to Bryant. Yeah. They're going to easily win that game.
So when we go to the top left quadrant again, Gonzaga, Maryland. Maryland just played great against Rutgers. They showed 40 minutes of great college basketball, but Gonzaga is just – you're going to need a lot to be able to beat Gonzaga this year.
Belmont is one of those teams that – Belmont, Texas Tech. Belmont is one of those teams that could win this game, but Texas Tech is one of the better 5 seeds, and I don't see Texas Tech has too much size and power to beat Belmont.
Yeah, so then we've got an interesting game with Oklahoma State, Iowa. You've got Cade Cunningham against Luka Garza. I do think Cade Cunningham is a better player in athletic ability and scoring around the rim. I think for the sheer reason that Garza has actual supporting cast to help him around him. You've got guys like, what's his name?
You got McCaffrey,
yeah,
you got Wiscamp, and they will light it up from 3.
Yeah, you can kick it out to him. Cade doesn't really have that. Cade's team is great, but they don't have that supporting cast. And as we saw last year, they weren't really a tournament team. So I'm gonna put Iowa there.
Now we got Western Kentucky, Oklahoma. Oklahoma has had that stretch that they've been really good. Western Kentucky has not been able to prove themselves, but I do think Oklahoma will not let that upset happen.
Yeah, then we got Ohio State, UCLA. Ohio State just lost to Michigan, but they played incredibly. They went 15 minutes without a turnover. I don't see them losing to a 9 seed here.
Clemson, Kansas, in my opinion, this is going to be one of the worst 4 or 5 games. I think both of these teams are a little overseeded right now. Kansas has been playing good, but also has that choking ability in March Madness. I don't really know how to say it. They don't really have that star player. Clemson has been looking really good. They've started to heat up. I do think Clemson will beat Kansas.
Yeah, and kind of going off that, Kansas in previous years, they've always got that star player to go around. You've got Dotson in past years, you had Wiggins, and every year they seem to have that player. This year, there's no player that really stands out for Kansas, so they can't really build a team around anyone. So next we got Houston versus Loyola Chicago. This is going to be a great game. I think Houston, as of right now, isn't going to be able to beat Loyola Chicago in this game, and I think that's a great upset to pick. Houston, come March, this could be a completely different story. Houston could have destroyed the American Athletic and beat Wichita State by 40 points. But as of right now, I would say Loyola Chicago is a good upset here, just for the sheer fact that Houston has not been playing great recently.
Okay, now we got Oregon, Bama. I think Oregon got lucky in the first round getting matched up with Rutgers. If they got a matchup like Florida or they got a matchup like Creighton, they would have gotten blown out. And Bama's just too good. I don't think Oregon's going to win this game. Alabama's definitely going to win this game.
Yeah, so now we got Baylor, Boise State. Baylor's going to win that game. Baylor has one of the best two-way team in the league.
Now we got Virginia, Missouri. Both teams have not been playing their best recently, but I do think Missouri has that power to finish games while Virginia does not right now. It could be different come March, but Missouri is going to win this game.
Yeah, as of right now, both of these teams are not playing as a 5 or a 4 seed. They both have terrible losses recently. So next we got Drake, Florida State. Going off, Drake's a great team. Nothing against them. I think Florida State, their defense and just pure dominance in the lane. I don't think they're going to be able to. Drake's going to be able to score enough on them to actually win this one. So I'm going to put Florida State.
Creighton, Illinois. This is going to be the best 2-7 matchup. Both teams have been playing remarkable these past couple games. But it does come down to that star player, and Ayo Dosunmu has been so good this year. I do think Illinois will not let the upset and win the game against Creighton.
Yeah, Michigan and UConn. We just saw Michigan just handle Ohio State away. That was an incredible game, and as of right now, they're one of the best teams in college basketball. They're going to beat UConn with no problem.
Texas has had those up and down moments this year. But Virginia Tech has also had those moments. They've beaten teams like Villanova, but I haven't heard them beat another huge team like that. I do think Texas has those wins and has that size and will win this game.
Yeah. So next we got Wichita State, West Virginia. West Virginia has one of the best transition offenses in the league. They also have a ridiculous defense, and Wichita State, although they could always get hot in any moment, I got to put my fan bias aside and put West Virginia because they're probably going to be able to win this game by a lot.
All right, Florida, Villanova. Florida has been playing without one of their better players who might come back for March. I'm not sure. Nova has lost to bad teams like St. John's. Well, that's kind of it. But they also lost to Virginia Tech. So I do think Florida, fully healthy, will win this game.
Yeah. Okay, now let's go back to the top left. We've got Gonzaga, Texas Tech. Texas Tech is one of those 5 seeds that could easily wipe it off. They kind of remind me of Auburn a couple years ago against that North Carolina team that was incredible, and many people had them winning. Gonzaga is just – you can't compare Gonzaga, though, to North Carolina. Those are 2 separate teams. Gonzaga would have beaten that North Carolina team by 20, and for that reason, Gonzaga is just going to be able to beat Texas Tech.
Going off of that a little bit, North Carolina had those skilled players like Gonzaga did, but the chemistry just never worked out, and Gonzaga has amazing chemistry right now.
Yeah, and they're building the team around not only Suggs, but everyone else on that team.
All right, we got Iowa, Oklahoma. This could go either way. Both teams have been playing good, but it once again comes down to star players and how they perform. It is Luka Garza, and he will win this game for them.
So now we got Ohio State, Clemson. This conference, this region for March Madness, we see a lot of football teams playing basketball, which is kind of fun. Ohio State is going to beat Clemson yet again in basketball and in football.
All right, Loyola Chicago, Alabama. Alabama has looked really good this season. They've had one game that looked bad. Loyola Chicago has not really looked bad in the game. They had one loss to Drake. It was very close. Came down to the wire. It's always fun to take the underdogs in March Madness, and Loyola Chicago is one of those teams. We're going to take them over Alabama.
Yeah, they're one of those teams you could see as a Cinderella team this year, especially based on their first couple matches, and then they get hot, and we could easily see them going this way. Baylor, Missouri. Missouri, I don't know how they are still in this tournament. They have gotten lucky round after round after round, facing Northern Texas, then Virginia. 2 easy wins, but no, not this time. Baylor's going to kill them. 30-plus points.
Illinois, FSU. Illinois has had a tough schedule so far. Well, not Siena, but against Creighton. FSU got to play a beaten-down Drake team. Well, not beaten down, but not as good as a team like Creighton. Illinois will not be as good. FSU has been playing amazing, and they will take the win.
Yeah, so come March, Illinois could shape it even better than they are right now. Both teams are probably 2 of the top teams in the country as of right now, how they've been playing in the past 2 weeks. But Florida State has just been playing ridiculous. So next we get to Michigan, Texas. Texas is big, but Michigan is as well. And based off how they were able to handle Ohio State, I'm just going to put Michigan there.
In my opinion, I think Texas could definitely win this game based on performances in the past, but they have not gotten it together, and they need to get it together to beat a team like Michigan. Next, we got Florida, West Virginia. Florida has had a great run. When healthy, they are a really good team. West Virginia has been playing so good this year, and they have been really hot so far recently, and they will win this game.
Yeah, West Virginia just came off a couple games ago against Texas, and they were down by 20-something points, and they were able to come back and win. And recently, we've just seen that spark in West Virginia. If that can continue, they're going to be a tough team to beat this year.
It was 19 points.
19 points. My apologies. So now we have Gonzaga, Iowa to make the Final Four. This is, I think, Gonzaga's toughest challenge thus far in the tournament, and maybe in the entire tournament as a whole. Iowa, you've got that supporting cast to actually compete with Gonzaga. You've got that star player. The only thing is you're not Gonzaga. Gonzaga has Jalen Suggs. Gonzaga has the supporting cast, the defense, the offense, the transition. Gonzaga is going to be able to win this game. But I do think it's going to be close in the first half, I think Gonzaga is just going to pull ahead the second one.
I think if Iowa gets really hot, they could win this game. Even though Gonzaga has great perimeter defense, if they get that hot, they can hit their shots. They could win this game, but Gonzaga's just too powerful. All right, up next, I think we got Ohio State, Loyola Chicago. Ohio State has been really good. They've looked really good. Even in their loss against Michigan, they have looked really good. They beat Illinois earlier in the season and then got two of their better players back. Loyola Chicago has had a tougher schedule playing Houston and Alabama. And it comes down to star power, and Ohio State has that talent and power, and they're going to beat Loyola Chicago.
Yeah, so now we've got Baylor, Florida State. Florida State has beaten, they've beaten Liberty, they've beaten Drake, and just now they beat Illinois. I think Illinois versus Baylor would have been a better game than this one to watch, just for the sheer fact that I think Illinois would win that anyways. I think Florida State matches up perfectly against, what's his name?
Jared Butler and Davian Mitchell.
Yeah. I think Florida State has one of the best defenses in the league, and they are just so big, and I think they're going to be able to beat Baylor this year.
All right, going down to the last region before the Final Four, we got Michigan, West Virginia. Michigan has looked really good recently. This is the best basketball we've ever seen them play, but so has West Virginia. But I think West Virginia will outrun Michigan, but Michigan doesn't have that size. This will be a very close game, but I do think West Virginia has that finishing kind of team. They will close out this game.
Okay, so now we got Gonzaga, Ohio State, and this is going to be an interesting game to watch just for the sheer fact that if Ohio State can get hot, you never know what's going to happen. I don't think they're going to beat Gonzaga. Gonzaga just came off Iowa, who's arguably a better team than Ohio State. As we said before, Gonzaga is going to win this game.
All right, now we got Florida State versus West Virginia. Both of these three seeds have been playing their best basketball this year. Right now, they're probably both top 7 teams of how well they're playing. I can see this going either way, but I do think FSU is too big and has that defense to get back against the number 1 transition team to beat West Virginia.
Oh, I put Baylor before. Sorry about that. Going to change it to Florida State, and Florida State's going to win again. And now the finals. We have got Gonzaga versus Florida State. This is going to be one of the lowest scoring games in the tournament, and it's going to be one of those. It's going to be not the most exciting game to watch. It's going to be close.
I'm sorry. I'm going to disagree with you. I think it's going to be a very high, not very high, a decent scoring game. I think it's going to be fun to watch the first half.
Until Gonzaga blows them out.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's going to be low scoring, though, in the sense that Gonzaga has a bunch of big guys inside, and same with Florida State. I think Florida State has one of the best defenses in the league right now, and transition-wise, I don't think Florida State has that in them to really stop Gonzaga on offense. To score on them on offense, and that's where most teams are able to score against Gonzaga. I don't know. It could be either way. It's kind of one of those games that it's going to be a 60-60 game, or it could go into the 90s. You never know.
Yeah, okay, I agree with that.
So for the second bracket in a row, we're going to pick Gonzaga.
Surprise, surprise.
So thank you guys so much for watching this. If you have any questions about any teams, or you want to know a best case scenario for a team, like we said, please feel free to comment. And it really means a lot to us if you dropped a like or subscribed even. Thank you so much.